Oh, that wonderful place called the comfort zone. It's cozy, safe, secure, and as creatives, the comfort zone can be just the thing you need, but it also might be exactly the thing you need to ditch, or at least take a break from, especially if you want to deepen your creativity. You know, like an old blue hoodie. For at least a little while. So today, we're stepping outside of the comfort zone. I'm Jeff Koterba, and on this channel, I talk about the creative process and overcoming obstacles so that you can follow your dreams. What exactly is the creativity comfort zone? Well, it's not exactly a physical place. It can be a state of mind where you feel at ease. It's familiar territory, a place where you're not likely to encounter anxiety. It may not be the most fulfilling place, but at least you already know the pitfalls so that you can minimize risk and rejection. It's sort of your sweet spot. But you might say, Jeff, isn't that sweet spot for creativity exactly the thing we're supposed to strive for? Well, yes and no. While it's essential to develop a routine to perfect your techniques and skills and to just know your creative self, it's also important to keep it fresh, to have new input and new experiences, to push yourself. Let's say you're currently not doing the creative work, those dreams and passions you think about pursuing, but you don't actually dive in because of fear. And so you constantly tell yourself, one day I'll pursue those goals. That can also be sort of a comfort zone. Maybe it's more like a discomfort zone, but it's a place that you know and a place you're familiar with. And also, if you're experiencing some sort of creativity block, all of this applies to you too. Let's say that you are showing up, plugging away, doing the work, mostly having good days. You might even say, I finally found my style. I've arrived. This is now my life's work. If that's the case, that's absolutely amazing. It really, truly is. As important as it is to find your sweet spot, it's also vital to challenge yourself. Stepping outside of your comfort zone can and will boost your creativity. Yikes! But does the idea of stepping outside of your comfort zone make you feel anxious and a little scared after working toward finding your happy place? Now what? You're supposed to go back into the world to do the things that make you uncomfortable? Yep. Look, I'm not saying to abandon the work you're doing. Stepping outside of your comfort zone, seeking new experiences and new challenges can broaden your perspective. You'll see the world in a new and fresh way. It'll help deepen the work you're already doing, and who knows, it might inspire you to move into a new direction altogether. Trying something new might be just the thing to jumpstart your creativity. So stepping outside of your comfort zone doesn't have to be some huge thing. It can be, and more on that in a moment. So what does a small thing look like? It might mean going for a walk in a totally different neighborhood of your town, to see different things, run into different people. Or if you're like me, always walking around with earbuds, it might mean leaving those behind, which gives me anxiety. As someone learning French, I almost always walk while listening to French podcasts. I find it to be a good way to do two things at once. I get my steps in, and I also work on my French listening and speaking skills. That's where those earbuds come in. When I'm speaking French to the outside world, they probably just think I'm talking to someone in bad French. The other day, I was on a hike in a forest listening to French, but I was in a forest, so I did a simple thing and put away my earbuds, and it gave me a lot of anxiety. Here's what happened. I heard birds chirping and the sound of my feet on the path. I could hear the wind in the trees. I know the birds weren't chirping in French. Maybe they were. My imagination shifted, and I actually did imagine birds chirping in French, and I had a laugh. And I was in the moment. Simple things, little things. Things like taking a different route home from work or school, or working from a different coffee shop, sketching or writing notes with your non-dominant hand, starting a conversation with someone at the grocery store, or wearing a color of a t-shirt you've never really worn before, so that out of the corner of your eye, or when looking in a mirror, you might catch a splash of that new color. Just that one little splash of color can cause a small shift in your brain, and you are now associating yourself with this new color. It's a new way to see yourself. You can keep it simple and fresh, but you can also go a bit bigger. Take a class in something you know very little about, like medieval architecture. How did they build those giant cathedrals? Or astronomy. Take an improv class. Even if you're shy and you don't like attention or performing, hey, especially if you're shy, learn a new language. And if you really want to mix it up, go on a meditation retreat, take a new job, move from one end of the country to the other, or hey, move to another country. And even within your specific creative pursuit, experiment. Let's say you're a photographer and you only shoot digitally, try shooting on film. Or maybe you write pop songs, try writing the blues. Either way, big or small, try new things. Push yourself, challenge yourself. Stepping outside of your comfort zone can be stressful. It can be scary. You might have self-doubt. A little stress and a little anxiety can actually help fuel your creativity. Plus, you're going to broaden your worldview. New activities helps create new pathways in your brain. And if you're already in the flow, you're more likely to stay in the flow by getting outside of your comfort zone. And it's also a great way to prevent future creative blocks. If you take an improv class or study a new language, it doesn't mean you have to become a full-time performer or fluent in that language. It can help broaden your worldview and it can build empathy. You might find that, you do want to shift the focus of your work a little bit, or maybe a lot. And maybe you'll even discover entirely new creative pursuits that you hadn't even considered before. The sky is the limit for your creativity. Finding that sweet spot, the creative comfort zone, is a great thing. If you've found it, if that's where you are right now, that's a testament to your hard work and dedication. It's important to not just hang out there all the time. And if your comfort zone is more like your discomfort zone, this applies to you as well. Seek out new experiences, new challenges. It doesn't have to be anything monumental, but it can be. I'd like to encourage you to step outside of your comfort zone in small ways or big. I'd love to hear about all the ways you've stepped outside of your comfort zone. Let me know in the comments how stepping outside of your comfort zone has shifted your creative work, even in a small way. If you like this video, be sure to give it a like. And if you want more content on the creative process and overcoming your obstacles, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Now, go step outside of your comfort zone, but I do kind of miss my blue hoodie.